Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly partnered with the What the Funk shop. Please check out their store. For all sorts of products, they have dice, miniatures, game master screens, home decorations, and many other things. You will find the link in the description and in the pinned comment. And make sure that you use my code for a special discount. Today I am continuing the solo tutorial actual play campaign featuring Vampire Hunter. If you haven't seen the other parts of this solo campaign, please check out the playlist in the description below. This is a card-driven solo RPG featuring a theme of the 1800s. There are vampires moving about, threatening the people. And in my case, I am role-playing as Max Brown, who has recently inherited his uncle's mansion, his late uncle, that was found dead under very suspicious circumstances. After various methods of investigation, I managed to reach this place, this warehouse that has trapdoor, and the priest that seemed to be under some sort of spell or trance descended through the trapdoor, and so I decided to follow him. As usual, I am going to be making it as clear as possible when I am playing the role of Max Brown and when I am making sense of the results of the tables, coming up with the interpretations of the tables. And so it begins. Holding the lantern with my left hand and the revolver with my right hand, I cautiously step into the trapdoor now that it is open. Stepping carefully through the staircase, paying attention to the sounds and sights. I draw to determine sounds. Furniture. From deep below, Max can hear the sound of heavy furniture being moved around. As Max, I continue down the staircase. My focus completely centered on the room or chamber that lies at the very bottom of the staircase. I draw to determine the newly revealed chamber. Painting half empty glass. Max reaches the bottom of the staircase and finds a small room with the appearance of a basement, with nothing but a half empty glass on a small table and a painting covered in dust and cobwebs on the far side of the room, just opposite of the staircase. As Max, I carefully approach the painting and with the hand holding the revolver, begin wiping away the dust and cobwebs to make sense of the image on the painting. I draw to determine the image displayed. Historical legacy, engraved object. The painting itself displays a family crest, worn and ruined by the passage of time. As Max, I begin examining the details of the image of the crest, attempting to identify it as the crest of the Kruger family. I draw to determine if that is so. Max can easily tell that it is not the crest of the Kruger family. It is a crest of unknown origin, and there is no name indicating the family line. As Max, I look behind the painting to see if there is switch or button or contraption to activate. I draw to determine if it is so. There was no such thing. As Max, I move towards the small table with the glass on top of it. Kneel down and begin examining the fit and the area below, under the table, looking for signs of unusual activity or contraptions and switches of some sort. I draw to determine if that is so, if there are such anomalies. Max notices that one of the legs of the table is positioned on top of a different colored stone. As Max, I use the leg of the table as a tool to press down on the stone. A click is heard, and a section of the far wall next to the painting slides to the side. As Max, I wait for a moment, paying close attention to see if there is some other sound apart from the moving section of the wall. I draw to determine that. Max can hear a very faint sound in the distance. I draw to determine the nature of the sound. Using the inspiration tables. Fleeing. Max can hear the sound of footsteps moving further and further away from his position. As Max, I immediately stand up and rush towards the sound, not caring about stealth, hastening my pace into the darkness, keeping my lantern at an angle just behind me, the revolver at the ready in front. I draw to determine what lies through the passageway where the sound is coming from, using the inspiration table. Smashed that. Just to the side of Max. He can barely catch the glimpse of a fist flying towards his head from the corner of his eye. He can see a niche to the side, an exit on the side of the corridor that he is moving through, and an attacker aiming straight, aiming an attack towards his head. I draw to determine the difficulty of avoiding the blow. It is a high difficulty attack to dodge. As Max, I jump backwards in mid-run, putting all of my tension onto the frontal part of my feet, the soles, the very balls of my feet. I draw to determine if I am successful. By mere centimeters, Max is able to dodge the attack. As Max, I look at the attacker before me, trying to figure out if it's the priest that I was looking for. Father Highness. I draw to determine if it is so. It is a different individual. I draw to determine the appearance. Critical, using the non-player character personalities as inspiration. I draw on the occupation tables to further determine the appearance of the individual. Priest, a man dressed in the attires of a bishop, is lunging at Max. Battle has begun. I draw the cards to use in combat. I draw to determine the enemy's attack. The assailant launches another fist towards Max's stomach. As Max, I slam the handle of my revolver against the attacker's fist and immediately bouncing off my hand from that same blow, aim the handle of the revolver towards the opponent's neck. Max successfully buries the handle of the revolver into the neck of the attacker. The sound of choking and gurgling echoes through the passageway as the attacker falls down. As Max, I lean down and check to see if the individual is still alive. Max notices a pulse. As Max, I consider the urgency of the woman yelling in the distance moments before going down the trapdoor. In order to secure my advance without fearing an attack from behind, I stand up and lower my foot, slamming it, crushing the neck of the priest. As Max, I use my lantern to figure out if the niche or exit from where the attacker came from continues, or if it's just an indentation, an alcove within this section of the underground passage. The place where the attacker came from is another tunnel that continues to Max's left, probably the west by his estimation. As Max, I pause for a moment and pay attention to the sounds from each direction. First, determining if there is a sound coming from the tunnel that I was originally moving through. Max can hear a sound from that tunnel. I draw to determine the nature of the sound. The sound of liquid falling on the floor. The result was stain. A constant dripping. I immediately, as Max, I immediately pay attention to the newly revealed tunnel to see if there is a sound coming from it. All is silence. Max can hear nothing from that direction. As Max, I hurry up, making my way as fast as possible towards the source of the dripping. I draw to determine what lies at the end of the passageway. Engraved object. Lock, unlock. Max reaches a wooden door engraved with the same crest that he saw before. As Max, I try to open the door and realize that it is locked. Max realizes the door is under key, under lock. I draw to determine if the crest that Max is seeing is exactly the same as the painting in the previous room. The crest looks exactly the same. As Max, I look carefully all over the image on the door, searching for a name, searching for the name of Kruger specifically. I draw to determine if there is a message or name on the door. Max spots writing and takes a few moments to decipher it, as the letters have been damaged. I draw to determine if it spells Kruger. The name of Kruger is found on the crest on the door. As Max, I take a few moments attempting to make sense of the name of Kruger being in a crest that is not the crest that has been displayed in various books and paintings related to the Kruger family. Puzzling at the contradiction of it all. As Max, I aim my revolver at the lock of the door and fire and kick the door to reveal its contents, what lies behind the door. And this concludes this session. Wow, the next session is going to be pretty exciting because I heard dripping right behind that door, and we know that we heard a woman screaming, and then this priest attempted to kill Max. Let's see what is in that room or chamber, and let's hope there aren't more enemies, or at the very least just one. And I hope there are clues as to what is going on down here. And what about that Kruger, the Kruger family? In a previous episode, we potentially thought of the Kruger family as being somewhat connected to this entire mess of the smuggling of relics and the death of Max's uncle. But first, the crest on the painting was not the crest of the Kruger family, but now we have another crest that has the name of Kruger written on it. We need to investigate that. Why do we have two different crests? Is it like a branching family sort of thing? We shall find out in the next episode. Thank you for watching this part of the solo tutorial actual play campaign. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the Super Thanks button. Take a look at the information in the description and in the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, roleplay solves everything. Once again, thank you and see you later.